to the 21st International AIDS Conference, which is on its fourth day in Durban. Civil society groups have been making their message heard. The week-long conference is debating on how countries can best tackle the ongoing scourge of HIV. So let's get an update now once again from the conference. Our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo joins us now live. Ayanda, very good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you, Natasha. I'll tell you the momentum is still very high. Delegates, 18,000 delegates who are here in Durban. As you said, they're here to tackle the AIDS epidemic globally. Now, moving forward, I have a very, very special guest with me now, IFP President Mangosuthu Buthelezi, and he's also the former chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders. Buthelezi, a very good afternoon, and thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Now, you were the first politician here in South Africa to announce in Parliament that one of your children had sadly lost their lives to HIV and AIDS.
Yes, actually, I announced at their funerals. I lost my son on the 27th of April, and at the funeral I announced that he had died of AIDS. Then on the 6th of August, I lost my daughter, Mandisi, who died of AIDS, and I again announced it, that she had died of AIDS, because I felt that after the incident at one march where they killed one child there because she was HIV positive, I felt that, leaders were actually under obligation, if they are in that situation, to take away the stigma, because this is a disease just like other diseases. So I felt it was a responsibility on my part to do so. And I was very impressed. Shortly after that, Madiba, of course, lost his child too, and he did exactly the same.
Now, also, as a former chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders, you've worked with Amakhosi as well in the rural communities to try and tackle this huge problem that the province of KwaZulu-Natal being the epicenter for the epidemic.
Absolutely. We had organized everything throughout the province. We had committees of Amakhosi and so on. But although the Constitution recognizes the existence of traditional leadership, but anyway, there's no budget. So we couldn't do anything. So we just support the king in encouraging young girls to attend the reed dance so that they can remain chaste to protect themselves.
Speaking about His Majesty, together you've also reintroduced medical circumcision, and it's a program that has been going on very well as well here in KwaZulu-Natal.
Absolutely. In fact, I was talking to the MC, Dr. Mzomo, not so long ago, and he was telling me, gave me a number, and I was surprised, how much has been achieved actually about this. Because, as you rightly say, His Majesty the King encouraged it could be done, because Zulu people had this custom before, but King Shaka, of course, stopped it because he said a lot of time was wasted while they were healing. I don't know whether his mother, Mamshongo, influenced him to do that. I don't know.
And it's now become an annual event, similarly to the reed dance.
Absolutely, because we do everything to encourage it. And the people are actually very willing to do so. Yes.
Looking at Amakhosi and going forward, and the role that Amakhosi continue to play moving forward in their respective communities, what is the response, continuing from Amakhosi?
What is my response to it?
No, just the response from Amakhosi and the programs in rural areas. Are you happy with the programs?
Actually, we should be doing more, but because actually, while the Constitution recognizes the existence of traditional leadership, it's very strange that traditional leadership, traditional councils of Amakhosi, the House of Traditional Leaders in the districts, the houses rather, and the main house of which I was chairperson, have no budget. But we actually wanted to do more. So the little I do personally is that in our office we have someone who we pay from our meager resources to help people who are HIV positive.
There's this raging debate recently about young girls and the virginity testing. Obviously, it's an old practice. What have been your thoughts about the debate around and the comments about virginity testing?
Actually, I remember my Professor Matthews, teaching us law, saying in Latin, volenti non fit injuria, to the willing, no injury is done. What I'm saying there is that people go there willingly of their own accord. They are not forced to do it. And no injury, physical injury takes place. We have other cultures where actually people die, but they have not been stopped. It amazes us in this case that in a calm in our culture, which actually does not damage physically people or cause them to lose their lives, that people should make so much noise about it.
Mangosuthu Buthelezi, thank you very much for your time, IFP President and former chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders in KwaZulu-Natal. He was one of the first politicians here in our country to disclose that his child had died of HIV and AIDS. And he was talking about stigma. That's another issue that we will be discussing later. As you know, South Africa conducted one of the largest stigma surveys in the world. So we'll be telling you more about that survey and the programs attached to that moving forward. For now, Natasha, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you very much. Ayanda Mhlongo, live from the International AIDS Conference in Durban.